I don't know anybody that made cornbread that bad. It was bad. I'm sorry. Yeah, it was like a block of sand.
He needs some milk.
It was dry.
Hey loves, thanks so much for tuning in. It's your girl Chanel Navassier. Today I have a very special guest, my good friend Melvin Perez, owner of Elite Fit for Life. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you. No problem.
And have you ever ate vegan food before? Had it at a restaurant?
At a restaurant, no.
Okay, but you've had it before.
My own at home, but no.
Gotcha.
No.
But you eat healthy for the most part anyway.
I'm very healthy.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, our featured restaurant today is going to be Soul Vegetarian. They're located in the Highland Avenue Black-owned restaurant. Really good. Before it became popular to eat vegan or plant-based, they have been around for a long time. I love them. They have a lot of really yummy dishes. They specialize in soul food, so we're gonna have some amazing food on today. So we're just gonna open up the boxes, show you guys what we have, and we're gonna get into some news articles and see what Melvin thinks about them. So let's start off. Okay, so I ordered a vegetable plate with mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, and collard greens. We have a Garvey burger. Did you order a Garvey burger, right?
Yes, a Garvey burger was one of them.
Okay, a Garvey burger sandwich and some homemade cornbread, Jerusalem rice dish. I ordered 2 of those because I wanted one as well. And we have a kale bone sandwich and so as we eat, I'm gonna get into the first topic, so to say, and let me know what you think. I'm sure you've heard about this phone. So when my phone is loading, basically, Logan Paul signed to the WWE, and they haven't disclosed the amount that he signed for. But I thought that it was interesting because when he fought Mayweather, I was kind of like, that seems so privileged to me, and he was able to do that. Okay, here's the clip.
Don't know what WWE is. For the old school people of WWF, right? He is getting into wrestling, so we already knew that Logan dipped his toe with boxing and fought the best boxer alive to some, which is Floyd Mayweather. And he did make a debut, I believe, in WrestleMania, one of those big events. And now he signed with WWE. The amount of money that he's making was not disclosed, but we already know there was a bag.
And so, what are your thoughts about that? What are your thoughts about him going to the WWE?
I think with him being an entertainer, first coming from doing reckless stuff with his friends online to get followers when they were younger, I think he pretty much touched everything that he could possibly do, and is now in the older point of his life where now he's trying to reinvent himself but still keep his followers engaged and put on more followers. And when you've already been in that environment of doing stupid stuff and being in the limelight and talking and having followers, then you want to keep that going. So what can he do to rebrand himself to keep that high level of fan base, following, entertainment, or whatever you want to call it? So I think it's an opportunity for him, and because he has followers, WWE doesn't have his followers and he doesn't have their followers, so it's more of a partnership to enhance the fan base for both parties. So yeah, I think that's how I see it.
That's an interesting perspective. I agree. And on Nikki and Moose, that's the people who talked about it on that clip. They said what you said in a nutshell. Basically, that, you know, the WWE, it's older, right? Like, it's seasoned. We grew up on that, and I don't know if kids, unless you like have parents that maybe watched it, it will bring the younger crowd basically over to the WWE or whatever. And I think that that is great. Now, how did you feel when he fought Mayweather? Did you feel like that was a fair fight, or did you feel like, how can this guy come from YouTube and hop over to fighting one of the greatest boxers of all time?
I think boxing has took a nosedive in popularity over the years, from the Tysons and the Holyfields and the Alis and the Mayweathers and the high entertainment. There's very few people that are actually really good at boxing right now that keeps you entertained. Like UFC, people get knocked out all the time. So it's a lot easier to see a knockout, where boxing is a little slower. And it took a nosedive. So he's a shit talker. So is Mayweather. And that's all you needed was one clip of them both talking shit, and then it was pretty much, if I could say that on there.
Of course, yeah.
But it really just got to the point to where his followers wanted to see it, their followers wanted to see it. How can we make it happen? And it was in a point of, I was gonna say depression, but during the pandemic, where there was really nothing going on and they needed entertainment. So it was really just an opportunity to just bring everybody into something. Everybody knew who was going to win, everybody knew what it was going to be, but it was just curiosity. It was more like a versus, like they do with the music.
That's true.
And they did the same thing with Tyson and the other guy. It was just an opportunity to bring...
McGregor or who?
I can't remember who Tyson fought.
It was like a YouTuber. I forgot it. I think it was his brother.
It might have been, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it's just another avenue of the verses. So it's good for TV. It's good to bring people back in front of the TV.
Right.
Because most people just watch TikToks, little short clips. They can't keep their attention span because social media is like every 10 seconds.
Yeah.
So it's just something to get people sitting back in front of the TV for sports events with old performers, entertainers, sports characters.
Yeah.
And now it's converting over to, you know, social media followers and influencers. So it's
That's
really
true. True. And for me, I felt so, not butthurt, but I was just like, how is this YouTuber fighting this man? The only thing that I could really equate to it was the bag. I was like, it's all about the money. You know, there was talks that Mayweather was going broke, which I highly doubt. But I just equated it to like, oh, it was just like the check was big and he just did it. But I did feel like he has such a huge privilege to be able to fight Mayweather. And it is about, you know, entertainment and stuff like that. And Mayweather is a huge entertainer. So it does make sense, but I didn't really respect it. And coming from somebody who is a huge boxing fan, I just felt like boxing was dying with doing that. I just felt like it was already on the decline. But one fight I am interested in is Clarissa fighting on the women's side, boxing match that's coming up. Are you a fan of hers, or do you watch women's boxing?
I have not watched women's boxing.
Okay.
So I'm not even sure.
I'm gonna play the clip first.
A deep-rooted decade rivalry comes to fruition in what is an iconic fight on what will be an unprecedented night at London's O2 on September the 10th. This is a landmark moment for women's boxing and women's sport. Laced with history, needle, and revenge, the GWOAT, Clarissa Shields, the silent assassin, Savannah Marshall, two elite, unbeaten champions colliding for the undisputed middleweight title. Just take that in. As Clarissa, welcome back to Britain again. You lit up Cardiff, you were there in Newcastle as well, and back you come to London, where of course you struck gold in 2012, just after the one defeat on the slate to Savannah Marshall. How much is it burning inside you to right what you think is a wrong?
It means Hello? It means a lot to be here. I'm grateful that the UK fans have accepted me, you know, once again to come over here and fight. Savannah Marshall, she got lucky in 2012, but she won't get lucky in 2022.
What do you mean she got lucky? Do you think it was just an aberration on your slate, on your record?
I was 17. Also, London was hosting the Olympics, and they also favored her. I never scored 8 points in any of my fights leading up, and that was the point system. And then all of a sudden, I scored 8, just scored 30 points the day before, as I did every other fight. And then all of a sudden, against her, I only scored 8 points versus her 14. I was 17, she couldn't shake me, she didn't drop me, she didn't get an 8 count. But all of a sudden now she's a knockout puncher.
Do you feel now is the moment, the time for you to become the undisputed middleweight champion?
I do, yeah. This fight has been a long, long time coming, but we're here now. And September the 10th, I will be the new undisputed middleweight champion of the world.
And what is it about Claressa? Obviously, there's the decade of history. Is there jealousy that she went on to become a double Olympic champion and the world titles at different weights and that you've had to struggle harder? What is it? Or is there, as Claressa said, a dislike, not a hate? What is there from your side, Savannah?
No, not at all. I'm a fan of Claressa Shields. What she's done for the sport is amazing. She's a pioneer for the sport.
But I'm excited to see this fight because I am a huge fan of Claressa's. I wouldn't say huge, but I am a fan of her. I do like her confidence, and it's boxing, so of course she's going to be talking smack or whatever. And I like that she's very confident, and she's from the Midwest, whoop, whoop. But since Layla has retired, there hasn't been anyone on my radar, or really in the boxing field in the women's division, that has sparked conversation like Claressa has.
Yeah.
You know, so I feel like she's Floyd Mayweather version of like female boxing, and I think she's bringing like a fresh air to women's boxing. So yeah, that's my take on it. But what do you think about it?
It's going to be interesting. I mean, hopefully it does bring a spark back to boxing, and just in general itself. But I think athletes now are. There's so much science behind that, athletes and how they perform and how they train and how they develop. So, I mean, this definitely could be something great if it's all done right, they train right. The energy's definitely there.
She's been training for 10. She's been in it for 10 years. Oh, okay.
I mean, for each other. If they're training for each other, because they're trying to beat each other. So, you know, if their coaches are doing the right philosophy for this fight and all that. So. Hopefully there's no injuries and backstories of somebody getting hurt afterwards, like, oh, I was hurt boxing.
Are you doing that because they're females, or?
No, people do that in boxing in general. Like, it could be a broken pinky knuckle, and they just fight because they still want to fight.
Oh, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean? So I just hope there's no underlying injuries, and everybody's healthy, and everybody trains exactly how their philosophy is to train for this fight, so there's no excuses. So whoever wins, it is what it is.
Fair square.
Yeah, and then hopefully there could be a part 2 and a part 3, because that's how it's always been back in the day.
Definitely. I'm a big boxing fan, but I like a good fight. I hate it when they dance around the ring all the time. And I think Pacquiao and Mayweather had fought a few times. I was like, what is this?
Well, Pacquiao, he's scared of Mayweather, and Mayweather's a defensive fighter, so nobody's punching.
Nobody's punching.
So he's just sitting there going in circles.
And I remember back in the day, like, they fought. They didn't run from each other. And I think that's what kind of made boxing start to die down. Do you agree?
There's not enough energy, there's not enough entertainment.
Yeah, you know, like they got in there. Now it's just about talking smack before the fight happens, and then they get in there, they dance, and in the last few rounds, they go crazy on each other.
Tyson Fury kind of, he's owning it right now.
He is.
He's pretty good.
I'm not a huge fan, but he is.
A weird technique. He's just a big dude, what is 6'7", I think, long arms, bad built body. Like, his body is disgusting, but he got long arms and he has a technique. And he looks like, you know, I can't say that on television, but
you actually can.
He moves his head a lot, so you really don't get a target on him. It's like he does good. He's doing great.
Yeah.
I can't get mad. Like, he's a champion, so.
Definitely. But you can still critique it, because you boxed for a little bit, right?
Little martial arts.
Martial arts.
Just for self.
I used to do videography for Melvin, and we recorded the session with him boxing. He did really well, so check out this clip. You can find his socials listed down below. Before we get into rating this food, you want to just tell the people who you are and what you do?
So my name is Melvin Paris with Elite Fit for Life. It's a fitness training studio, and we focus on small group training. So it gives you a feel of individual private training, one-on-one, but actually in a small group. So you get your program designed just for you and your body and what your goals are, but you do it in a group setting. So you're not paying a one-on-one fee, which is pretty high. You're paying a small group fee, which is fairly at a cheaper rate, but allows you to, budget your account at home, especially during these times, to make sure that fitness isn't an issue. Fitness isn't a financial struggle, and you can put it in your budget and keep it in your budget, but also have fun doing it with the community.
Definitely. Yeah. And you do offer private classes still?
We do. We do offer private one-on-one.
A little bit more expensive?
Yeah, it's a little more expensive, but for those that need it, we don't recommend you do it fully. We would love to merge you into a group, so that way you could, enjoy the community and also still be motivated and have fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And where are you located?
We're in Sandy Springs at 209 Hildebrand Drive in Sandy Springs, Georgia.
All right. And how long have you been in fitness, or just a personal trainer?
Professionally, since 2014. Professionally, yeah. My own business since 2014.
He definitely has, wow, I'm so inspired by his story. He opened up his own studio, so to say. Would you call it a studio?
Yeah, it's a studio.
He opened up his own studio almost 2 years ago, right?
It was in the middle of the pandemic.
Yeah.
Well, it was last year, a year and 4 months. It's February. I started my first class. Our grand opening was April 4th or April 2nd of last year. So
super dope. Well, congrats on all of your successes.
Thanks.
And he has an amazing facility, all new, up-to-date equipment. It is fantastic. Great classes. Are you doing any classes coming up in the future here?
Right now, we just started our martial arts and boxing. We do a lot of that in the evenings. We do have some boxing in the morning as well. But right along with our fitness and sports performance. So we got a lot going on at the gym. Really able to help the community and the kids in the community to, peak their performance.
So if you're in the Atlanta area and you're in need of a personal trainer or a fitness class, check out Elite Fit for Life. I'll have all of his socials linked down below. You're on Facebook, Instagram. Are you on TikTok, the Tics and the Talks?
We'll get there.
Dancing with the kitties? And
Not even.
No? Will you?
Would I would.
You would?
I would.
Now, who are some of the top people that you have trained? Because a little bit of Melvin's backstory, and I'm telling his story, he's sitting right here, but you were a football player.
I did.
And so, you want to tell people just briefly about your journey in the football world?
Yeah, sure. So high school, White Plains, New York. One of the top athletes in our school. Really didn't have guidance at home for grades to really push me to the limit. Didn't know anything about college until second half of our senior year in high school, so I was doing everything late. Winded up at a small Division III school and became All-American there. Made it to Giants camp after breaking my ankle in my senior year. Got released in Giants camp in 2001. Played arena football 11 years, which was pretty fun. So from arena football, moved to Atlanta in my last 4 years and retired. and then became a fitness professional, which my background is in exercise science and adult fitness. So then I moved to Atlanta, wound up training at a big box facility here in Sandy Springs, and then left that company and started my own company. And 5 years into that business was in the middle of the pandemic, opened up my own gym. Business was exploding because everything shut down, and people still needed to train, and then I had to open up a facility of my own. And then from there it was, you know, just everything up. And the last year and a half has been amazing, amazing story. So previously last year, so during the last draft was probably my biggest point, training Bones Hyland with Denver Nuggets. Really great young man. I mean, hard working. I knew he was going to be great from the moment I saw him. Most people would look at him and think, oh, he can't do it because he's skinny. And we was able to put some weight on, and I mean, his talent just speaks for himself. And his inner beast in him keeps him thriving. Like, he's going to be at the top for a long time.
And who did he get drafted to?
Denver Nuggets were 26th pick in the draft. He started out the combine at 100 and something on the board and fell down to mid, somewhere around 50, and then next you know he got drafted at 26. His story is amazing. You got to go check him out. I could talk about it, but it sounds better coming from him.
All right, well, thank you for sharing your story. Again, I'll have all of Melvin's social medias listed down below. We're going to clean off the table and get into some NFL trivia, and then we're going to play Black Card Revoked. Hopefully, you know, we'll get some good points here. Nothing too competitive. It's all in good fun.
I'm already telling you, I'm going to lose. I don't have a black card.
He ain't got no faith in himself, y'all. So, but you know NFL stuff though, like who?
Yeah, we'll see. I'm bad with names.
You're bad with names?
Oh yeah, but it's all good.
It's all good fun.
I'm good with faces, I'm bad with names.
I'll pull up a name, a face or two for you,
Yeah,
or
we'll
whatever.
see.
he's playing it modest. I'm sure he's gonna do really well. I tried to pick categories that my guests are already familiar with, since you played in the NFL and you do watch football, right?
I do.
Are you excited for the upcoming season, or?
My team has not been good lately, so
Who are you
I'm
going
excited.
for?
I'm excited to watch football,
Okay.
but we'll see about my team.
Who are you going for?
I'm a Giants fan.
Of
I
course.
gotta roll with my Giants.
New Yorkers are die-hard fans. Super quick before we hop over to the trivia, what do you rate the dish? I'll just name off each thing. So I had the vegetable plate, and it had mac and cheese, sweet potatoes, and collard greens. I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. I'm gonna say a 9 out of 10, okay? Because I like the restaurant, I've eaten there before or whatever. I did like the sweet potatoes, mac and cheese. Vegan mac and cheese is not gonna be the same as regular mac and cheese for non-vegans. It's not creamy, it's gonna be a little thick, a little, you know what I'm saying?
It definitely was different
texture, for sure. And so I like it because I mean, I ain't got no choice, I'm vegan, so.
I mean, I had the mac and cheese, I tasted it. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I could eat it again if I had to. If I had to go vegan and fix my taste buds, then I could do it.
Okay. But what do you give it out of 10?
Oh, 10?
Yeah, out of 10. You had the collard greens too, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
You did?
But collard greens is, yeah, I'm good. I have enough collard greens in my life.
Gotcha. But we're rating this restaurant.
Oh yeah, you're right. I didn't taste it. I'm sorry.
Would you like to? Real quick.
Sure.
Did you got it?
I mean, it's not mama's cooking, but talk about restaurant. I give it a 7.
7?
I give it a 7.
For which one?
I give it a 7 for the, I go with an 8 for the collard greens, and I give the sweet potatoes a 7 because I'm not a sweet person. I like sweet potatoes, but they added too much to it to make it really sweet, and I don't like sweets like that.
It is pretty sweet. All right, so you want to rate your dish? What was the main dish that you had?
I had the jasmine rice bowl, or rice dish, I think, whatever.
Jerusalem rice
Jerusalem, yeah, that's what it was. I said jasmine. Wow. Jerusalem rice dish. That was pretty good. I could go with the meat and veggies. I definitely could be feeling something I could do again. I'd go with an 8.
I had it as well. I have my own separate dish.
Just plain.
Yeah, I didn't really care for it. It's quite bland for me, darling. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 5.
But I'm a bland person. I don't need a lot of seasoning and flavors.
Yeah.
'Cause all that is salt for me. So
Definitely.
I don't really like high salt. Like,
Oh no, I have non-salt flavor.
yeah. So that was definitely bland, but it did what I'd eat it again because I know what it could do for me.
It did what it was supposed to do. So
Yes.
I'm giving it an 8.
Yeah.
And I'm giving it a 5. And so one dish I feel like we both will agree on that was good was the barbecue cauliflower, right?
Yes.
You liked it?
Barbecue
I would say a 9
cauliflower.
out of 10. What do you?
I was gonna say 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5. It definitely was tasty. More of the barbecue sauce more than anything. It was nice
Yeah, I
and
mean
tangy.
that's the point. Yeah,
Yeah.
barbecue sauce.
I
does
know,
it.
right?
Cauliflower is. Yeah.
Yeah. It wasn't hard fried. It was kind of soft, and it could be because, of course,
It was sitting in a container.
it's in the
moisture.
container, moisture. So it could have been more
Softer,
harder and
yeah.
crunchier at first, and
But it was
after a
good,
while-
though.
But it was good though. Yeah, 9.5 out of 10. So then next up we have the Garvey Burger sandwich. Did you like that?
Garvey burger was alright.
That was this dish right there.
Yeah, the Garvey burger, it was alright. It was pretty good. I give it a 6. I'm a meat. I love food that comes from animals.
Yeah.
So the texture, really the texture. So after a while, that texture, first couple of bites were good, but then
Yeah.
the texture, you just gotta be,
In the mood for
you
it.
gotta be diehard vegan and just keep rolling with it. So
Definitely. Yeah, I liked it. It was decent. I'm not a fan of mustard though, so that caught me off guard. But then I found out it wasn't my burger anyway, so I shouldn't have been eating it. But it needed some sort of a flavor kick to it. I like spicy food, like mad spicy, or a nice little sauce would have been nice. For me, I'm gonna give this a 6.5 or a 7 out of 10. What would you rate it?
I would say 6.
Yeah. And the cornbread.
Cornbread, I would never do that one again.
It was pretty dry.
It was dry.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody that made cornbread that bad. It was bad. I'm sorry. But it was like a block of sand.
He needs some milk.
It was it was dry.
I've had it before. It was a lot more softer, but I haven't had it since like 2013, 2014 or so. My niece lived here, and it was a little bit more softer. I always keep in mind it's vegan, but still, I've had really good vegan cornbread, so I'm gonna give this a 2.
Yeah, it was bad. I mean,
He says a -1.
yeah, it's negative. But I would say for them to have a business, this might just been a bad batch. I'm gonna go with that. Because everything else was alright.
Slapping.
Everything else was alright. But this one was, yeah, we just gonna say it was a bad batch.
Yeah, that's what we're
Because
going.
that was playing in a sandbox.
Playing in the sandbox. Down the bin. Okay, I think that's pretty much. Kale bone.
Yeah, the kale bone.
So the last dish was a kale bone platter. It had a sandwich in it and then some sides. What did you think about that?
The fries / sliced potatoes, whatever that was really good. I will give that a 9. I could definitely eat those again. That was good. And then the sandwich that came with it was, I don't know, it looked like it was, I don't know what kind of meat it was portraying to be, but it was actually pretty good. It was good. It was good for about a little over half of it, and then the texture got to me.
Gotcha.
But if I just had to eat half of it, I would have said an 8. It was good. I do feel light, and typically whenever I eat vegan, I don't feel bloated and heavy. And,
Yeah.
I think that's one of the best things about vegan. When I was eating vegan for like 3 months, it was probably the strongest I've ever been, most energetic, less inflamed in my joints and midsection. So I know vegan is really good. It's just trying to figure out how to build a lifestyle of food around it. That's the hardest part.
So you did try the vegan thing for a little bit.
I mean, it was at home. I was eating like straight the same meal almost every day.
Every day. That does happen. Copy paste.
It wasn't.
does get boring if you don't
it was
switch
good.
it
In the
up.
first week, it was great. I felt oh man, I could do this.
Yeah.
And it was just like, all right.
It's bland.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so that is Soul Vegetarians review. Shout them out, check them out. They are located in the Highlands area. They do have 2 locations, and I'll be sure to tag them in this video. Black-owned business, really good people. They also have a place over there if you are into sweets called Hebrew Bakes, and they have some amazing baked goods that are all vegan. Very, very good. So we're gonna clean everything off, get into some trivia, and go over to NFL trivia. So let's do it. All right, we are back with the second segment of the podcast. This is going to be the NFL trivia questions.
1, 2, 3, 4, clap your hands.
I'm going to be asking Melvin. Now, how the game works is I'll read off the question. I'll give you multiple choice.
Okay.
You state your answer, and you have to say final answer in
Final
order to
answer.
lock it in. Okay? So let's go. Question number 1. Who is the oldest team in the NFL? The Bears, the Giants, the Cardinals, or the Packers?
Wow. I'm gonna go with the Packers. I want to say the Bears, but I'm gonna go with the Packers. It also could be the Giants because we're an old city. But final answer, I'm going the Bears.
Final answer, the Bears. It is the Cardinals.
Cardinals.
All right, question number 2. What team has the most NFL titles? Browns, Cowboys, Packers, or the Steelers?
Steelers. Final answer.
It is the Packers. All right.
Oh.
Question number 3. Who has the most passing yards in a single game? Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Dan Fouts. Is it Fouts? Fouts?
Spell it.
F-O-U-T-S.
Sure. Anyway.
Norman Van Brocklin. Who has the most passing yards in a single game? Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, Dan Fouts, Norm Van Brocklin.
I'm gonna go with some names that I don't know because obviously I'm gonna feel biased that I'm picking 2 names that I know. So I'm gonna go with Van Brocklin, whatever his name is,
You want to lock it in?
because it's some ancient history that we've probably never seen him play before. There was no defense out there, so I'm going with that. Final answer.
Final answer is Norm Van Brocklin.
See? Yep, that's it.
That is correct.
See, I gotta go with it. Nobody
Process
knows
of
who that guy is.
elimination. What year was the first NFL playoff game?
Oh, wow.
1970, 1967, 1932, or 1920?
The first playoff?
What year was the first NFL playoff game?
20, 30. And you said is
1970, 1967, 1932,
I'm
or
going
1920?
1967. The first playoff game or championship game? Playoff game. NFL.
NFL.
Because there was probably another league before that, and they merged. I don't know.
You do.
I'm going 67. I don't care. Final answer.
You want 67?
Yep.
Final answer? 32. 1932 was the correct answer. Question number 5. Who has the most seasons played in the NFL? Jason Hansen, George Blanda, Brett Favre, or Morton Anderson?
Wow. The most playoff games in their career?
The most seasons played in the NFL.
Oh, most seasons.
Yes.
I don't even know half of those guys. Besides Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
And Brett
Green
Favre
Bay.
was 40-something years old.
Yeah.
The question is, when did he start?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Brett Favre.
You going Brett Favre?
Yeah, final answer.
Final answer, Brett Favre. It is George Blanda.
Whoever that is.
Whoever
I don't
that
know.
is. Shout out to you lot. All right, so next question. Who has the most touchdowns in a rookie season? Barry Sanders, Adrian Peterson, Minnesota, what's up? Ezekiel Elliott or Gale Sayers?
Gale Sayers. Rookie.
Who
You said
has
rookie
the
year?
most touchdowns in a rookie season?
Rookie season. Barry, Peterson, Elliott, Sayers. Oh wow. Barry Sanders was a beast. Gale Sayers was a beast.
I thought it was a girl.
No. I'm eliminating Ezekiel Elliott and Adrian Peterson.
AP.
I'm going with Barry Sanders for some reason.
Final answer?
Yep, final answer. Gale is probably it, but I'm going with Barry. Gale Sayers. I knew it.
Always go with your first instinct. All right. Question number 7. Which of these quarterbacks was not the #1 overall pick in the NFL draft? Johnny Unitas, Troy Aikman, or Alex Smith? Last question answer is Terry Bradshaw.
I'm going with Alex Smith. Final answer. Oh wow, Johnny Unitas. Alex Smith was the #1 pick? Wow.
Question number 8. What pick is the earliest a kicker or punt has ever been selected in an NFL draft? 6, 48, 27, or 15?
I'm going with 27 just because 27 is one of my numbers.
One of your favorite numbers? Final answer?
Final answer.
Number 6. Question number 9. What two colleges have had the most #1 picks in the NFL draft? USC and Notre Dame, Alabama and USC, Ohio State and Texas, or Ohio State and Oklahoma?
Oh, these are two teams together,
Yeah.
so it's like a. What two college teams had the most #1 picks in the draft?
Yep. And by the way, he's not seeing the answers. It's just the questions on the screen. So.
Man. I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna guess on this one too.
The most #1 picks. And I can't go with Alabama just because they've been killing it the last 10 years, because history is a lot bigger than that. So I'm gonna go old school and go USC and Notre Dame. No, I'm going Ohio State and, man, should I go Texas or Oklahoma? I'm gonna go Ohio State, old school draft, Texas.
Final answer.
Final answer.
Ohio State and Texas?
Yeah.
I am going to say USC and Notre Dame.
Yeah, I mean, they're historic, so.
They're historic. What do you say? Tap it, see what happens. I was right!
You knew that, man.
I didn't. I've never seen this before.
Yeah, whatever.
Question number 10. What is the most consecutive titles an NFL team has ever won? 8, 3, 2, or 4?
Oh, consecutive.
Consecutive.
Like back to back.
Back to back.
3.
You gotta guess this one right. At least get 2 out of the 10. We can't have you doing 1 out of the 10.
I'm going with 3.
You going with 3? Final answer?
Yeah.
Hit the button. That is correct! Yay! Alright, that is NFL trivia. We got 2 out of 10. That beats nothing, you know? That definitely beats
I'm
nothing.
good with it. I will sleep good tonight.
He will sleep good tonight.
I'm not
So
worried about it.
we're not worried about it at all. Alright, which is great. That's the mindset you should have, because it's just all in good fun.
If we were in the game, it'd be a different story.
Heck
but I'm not
yeah!
playing,
I love it. Yes, I'm here for that. All right, so we're gonna head over to the next game. We're gonna do Black Card Revoked, or you know, we might switch it up and do Would You Rather, because trivia is pay, right? Like,
so. Yeah.
yeah. You say Would
I
You
probably
Rather.
don't have a black card anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Why would you say that though? What would you say? You're black, you know, the black experience. It doesn't have to be anything that is like happening right now. It's like the stuff we grew up on.
Oh, okay.
But if you don't feel confident in that,
Oh, I
I
don't
want you
care.
to.
It's a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're saying your black card is revoked already, then.
I mean, I told you I was going to move to the NFL trivia.
Yeah, you did. That's because you said it. That's how it works.
Okay, my black card is not revoked. It's in my
There
pocket.
you go. Good energy. All right, we're going to play Black Card Remote up next. All right, this is the final game of the podcast, the third session. We are going to be playing Black Card Revoked, and I know Melvin is going to do amazing. First off, we got a really easy one. You watched the show Power, right?
Yes, I've watched it.
You watched it. I know you used to watch it.
I watched it.
Okay, so these will be oh.
I did see that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question number 1. On the show Power, what was the name of Tasha and Ghost's youngest daughter, aka baby girl? Raina, Layla, Savannah, or Yasmin?
Raina was, wait, you said Raina?
Raina, Layla, Savannah, or Yasmin?
I'm going Yasmin.
And you must-
Final answer.
That is correct. I believe in you. You got this. You're gonna get all right. All right. All right. Hennessy is what kind of liquor? Vodka, whiskey, cognac, or gin?
Cognac.
And
You said Hennessy, right?
yeah.
Cognac.
And that
Final
is-
answer.
See, I told you. Slight work. Slight work. Did you watch the show Atlanta
No.
with Donald Glover?
Nope.
All right, that's out there. All right. I've asked this previously on some previous podcasts, but I think it's interesting to ask my guests. What is Kobe Bryant's middle name? Royce, Jeffrey, Rashad, or Bean?
Bean is a nickname. That's not his middle name. What were they again?
Royce, Jeffrey, Rashad, or Bean?
Royce or Rashad? I'm going Royce. Final answer.
It says Bean, but since you said that was his,
That's his nickname.
let's look it up. So
I
let's look
think
it
Bean
up.
is his nickname.
Let's look it up.
Like they call him Bean, but that's like,
Because you
I
would have
think
got
that's
it right
more,
then.
that's more of a nickname than it is. Everybody calls him Bean.
It is actually Bean.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll give that to you then, because you preferenced it
Yeah.
before you said it. So I'll give that to you, because you said Bean was his what?
Yeah, his nickname. Like everybody called him Bean.
All right, bet. See, you got this. You got this. Did you watch Insecure?
No.
No. Next question.
Black card revoked.
No. You just want your black card to be removed. All right. On the show Martin, besides Martin Payne, how many characters did Martin play?
Wow.
8, 6, 9, or 4? Take your time. You can name them.
It's definitely not 4. He played way more than that. Other than Martin,
Other than himself. Other than Martin Payne, how many characters did Martin play?
Dragonfly Jones, the cop, Roscoe, Shanae. Man. I'm going 6.
You going 6?
How many? What was it again?
It says, on the show Martin, besides Martin Payne, how many characters did he play? 8, 6, 9, or 4? How many?
I ended at 4,
But there's way more than that.
but I think there's more than that.
Yeah. I said in the
Well,
house.
that's 5, so that already brings you to at least 6. And then I probably missed a few shows here and there, so I'm going 8.
Final answer?
Final answer 8.
It's 9. You were so close.
Wait, you said, oh yeah, 8 or 9, yeah.
Yeah, it was on there. Yeah, so it was 9. So, you were close though. Which famous singer wrote Every Little Step by Bobby Brown? Bobby
And
Brown,
next up, I take
Babyface, Devontae Swing, or Teddy Riley?
Teddy Riley.
Who wrote it?
Oh, who wrote it, not produced it?
Yeah.
Oh. You said Dante Smith, Teddy Riley,
Dante Swing,
Swing,
Babyface.
Babyface.
So it's Bobby Brown,
Bobby Brown.
Babyface, Devontae Swing, or Teddy Riley?
I'm gonna go with Babyface.
Final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct. That is correct. All right, next question. On the show Moesha, who was Moesha's brother? Ray J, Miles, Hakeem, or Quincy?
Ray J, Miles, Hakeem, or Quincy?
Yeah, who's her brother on the show Moesha?
Miles.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct. You got 5 out of 10 so far. Who is Prince Hakeem's silky smooth rival in Coming to America? Randy Watson, Tommy, Cleo McDowell, or Daryl?
Daryl. Reese had Daryl. Just let your soul glow and it oh so silky smooth. Just let it shine throughout.
Yes, that is correct. Daryl was his rival in Coming to America. Who played Ricky in Boys in the Hood? Ice Cube, Tupac Shakur, Morris Chestnut, Cuba Gooding Jr.
You said Rookie?
Who played Ricky?
Ricky.
Ricky.
Ricky! Cuban Gooding Jr. I can't even say it.
Who played Ricky in Boys in the Hood? Ice Cube, Tupac Shakur, Morris Chestnut, or Cuba Gooding Jr.? Who played Ricky?
Morris Chestnut.
And that is the
Final answer.
That is correct. That is correct. You may not know the NFL, but you are definitely black. Okay, that is a fact. All right, 7, 8. We got 2 more questions to go. All right, I know you got this one. Question number 9. Who was not a fly girl in Living Color? Jennifer Lopez, Tisha Campbell, Carrie Ann Inaba, or Rosie Perez? Who was not a fly girl?
Tisha Campbell. Final answer.
That is correct. Melvin is black, y'all. I told you you got this. And I said if you say it, you're gonna get it. So definitely gotta manifest with those words. Final question. Okay, final question for Black Heart Revoked. If fish don't fry in the kitchen, then
beans don't burn on the grill.
Hey, is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct. We got 9 out of the 10. Melvin is number 1 in Black Heart Revoked. Congratulations, your black heart is safe. We're going to wrap this up, give you guys a little bit of an outro, and have one more topic to discuss, and then we're going to just tell you where you can find Melvin at and what he has coming up next for his business. So stay tuned for that. Last question before you go, I wanted to ask you, what is something that you know that you wish you would have done in college or in your younger days?
Something I wish I could have known and done in my younger days when it comes to sports.
Yeah. Or anything. It could be sports, it could be, you know, this age now, looking back, I wish I would have done this, or...
To be honest, I wish I would have played in the South. I'm gonna keep it real. New York is a basketball state. I love basketball, played basketball halfway through my college career before I had to get serious for football. But if I played in the South, they take things a lot more serious. I probably would have been playing a position that I probably would have excelled in. I probably would have been a linebacker. I probably wouldn't have been a tight end, wide receiver, but that's what position I had to play in high school. So that's where I gravitated towards, but probably would have been a linebacker. But and they got a lot more guidance and push and following. Like the city really follows behind football.
Yes, they do.
Like it's crazy. The South is crazy when it comes to sports, period, just in general. like we just played in New York because there was concrete ground and open grass. Like we didn't lift, we didn't do anything. Coaches really didn't know what they were saying. They were just like, you move this guy, you move this guy. There was no technique. We were just athletes. And we were still good. But in the South, it's a little different.
Yeah.
It's a different animal.
Definitely. I can see that just being here. Like, they're die-hard football fans, even for the universities and their colleges especially, but definitely in professional sports as well. Atlanta's a huge, huge sports area. And I wanted to also ask you, how important is emotional intelligence to an athlete? Like, not to act off of just like anger, but to have the emotional intelligence for gameplay, or how do you apply that for your business?
I mean, I've always been mellow. And I think if you let your emotions take over in anything, you're going to get the wrong results. You always have to be able to analyze the situation, but at the same time perform and react simultaneously. And if you can't handle yourself emotionally and mentally, you definitely won't be able to handle yourself physically. So I think a lot of that comes into play with entrepreneurship, business owners, just in anything, sports, anything. Like, you really have to be able to analyze what's going on at this second and what's going to happen in the next 3 to 5 seconds, and in business at this moment, in the next 3 to 5 days, a year. So you have to be able to like move, and everything you say, everything you do can be a direct result, can impact whatever it is directly, almost immediately. So, yeah.
How do you strengthen your emotional intelligence? What advice would you give? Because I feel like the generation that's coming up and the one that we're currently in, do you think that they're emotionally use emotional intelligence, or are they very, react?
This culture is very react first.
Yeah.
A lot of that comes from upbringing, spirituality, your environment in which you're in. Because if that's all you know, because that's your environment, then you're going to kind of take on that. And your surroundings, so your circle of friends. So you got to make sure you're around the right people that's going to help you communicate, people that you could communicate with. You don't have to tell everybody everything, but you have to have some people that you can communicate ideas and situations and bounce things off of you, whether it's pastors, friends, parents, people that you really look up to. But yeah, I mean, communication is key. I would say is probably the baseline of this category. Like, you got to be able to communicate whatever it is you're thinking and feeling. I would say research UIL policies. Very, very informative. If you want to save money and you want to really grow your money, that is the best way and best place to put your money, and not at the club on bottles.
Oh, that's right. Or designer. Right.
That $200 a month that you're putting away can change your life, your children's life. Like, it can really transform your legacy.
Definitely. And they can email you at elitefitforlife@gmail.com as well.
Yep.
So you can send your email inquiries to elitefitforlife@gmail.com, and he will respond there. If you have any questions about setting up a life insurance policy, Melvin is a wealth of information. He knows so much about a lot of stuff, but he does specialize in the fitness world and the insurance world. But just really good energy, great individual, a great trainer, and overall good guy. You would try the place again, and you might give the vegan journey another try, possibly.
I would. I mean, I could probably go vegan 3-4 days out of the week. Yeah.
You couldn't fully go vegan?
I like animal.
Don't say that on the show.
Sorry.
No! Abort! That's not what this is about. I'm trying to transform people. He did not say that. That's not what this is about.
It's hard. I don't know.
It's hard?
It's hard.
Is it that hard?
It is.
Well, we have not conformed Melvin, unfortunately. So he will be a meat eater, probably.
I don't know about meat eater, but I'll stick with the chicken and the
for a little bit.
It's deep.
Yeah, God's gonna say we eat.
Pause.
Yeah.
And that wraps up today's show, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for watching. Make sure that you subscribe. And people can follow Melvin also on Elite Fit for Life. He does have a YouTube page also. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Peace.